What is going on, everybody? Welcome to channel update video. I'm Owen Finch, and I'm here with,
Chris.
and we're doing this channel update video because Chris and I kind of realized we kind of slacked off a little bit when it came to uploading shows and everything like that to the channel. Uh, we didn't really do much going into WrestleMania season or anything like that. We kind of you know. Uh, I think life just got busy and everything like that. We had a lot going on. Um, we had to kind of change who edits the show and everything like that because I basically had to take over doing editing so that way, uh, you know, the shows could go up and everything like that. So we had to make some changes behind the scenes and everything like that. So yeah, it was kind of a lot was just kind of going on around that time. Um, and we were and everything was just really busy. So we're ready to get our act back into gear. We planned some nice shows for you, so that you can like sit down and listen to and everything like that, and just sit down and watch. Are you ready to like talk about all the stuff we're gonna be doing YouTube wise? You ready to get back into the swing of things?
Fuck yeah.
Anything else you want?
I'm
Anything more you want
fucking
to say about like our absence and all that type of stuff? Like, uh, and anything like that?
um we we didn't mean to be gone for this long to do a channel update video, but yeah. Um Shit just kind of got in the way. A change was very needed from our standpoint.
Yeah.
But yeah, like we promise things and we just don't do them. So it's like I'm not gonna promise that we're not gonna do that again because shit gets in the way. But yeah, we didn't mean to go this long with a channel without a channel update video.
Yeah, like we did one earlier in the year, but like, um, we didn't really stick to any of that stuff. Um, we stuck to some of it, but like we want to kind of come back and like start to do things that the way that they were. So we're just gonna kind of go through each of the shows that we do, and we just kind of want to talk about like what we're gonna try to do better and everything like that. But yeah, let's just get started. We'll start with WWE Aftershock. That will still be a thing because we still like covering the WWE product, especially with how hot that it's getting right now and everything like that. So we want to make sure that we talk about that. Um, we'll still do it weekly, but there is going to be like a change of how it's done, just because there's going to be like a lot of big shows that are going to be taking place in the span of April. Um, so we're not gonna actually do one this week, just because it's right before the draft and everything like that, and we have another video that we need to get done that's kind of more important than that. So it'll be that video instead. But then, if you want to know kind of what WWE Aftershock wise will be different, um, on April 26th, 2024, on Friday at either 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. We're gonna do a WWE Aftershock covering everything pre-draft. Basically, what's been going on in Raw this week, what's been going on SmackDown this week. It would just mainly be the main shows. It won't be any of the C shows or anything like that, but it'll be like the main shows, kind of all the storylines that have been going on. We won't cover anything NXT related because NXT is doing a big show, and it'll be kind of weird if we talk about it. Um, but we'll be talking about all of everything that's going on in the main roster, everything pre-draft, just kind of all the storylines. There shouldn't be a lot of things because it's only like 2 weeks, but we'll definitely make sure we talk about it. And then Chris and I had to talk behind the scenes because I got the order of the draft wrong. But on Thursday, May 2nd, 2024, we're going to be doing a show covering the WWE draft and NXT Spring Breaking, because NXT is doing Spring Breaking. It's going to be a 2 week event. We're going to be talking about both of those shows, just kind of giving our thoughts on them and everything like that. And the reason we're doing NXT Spring Breaking just all in one video is because I think it makes more sense if it's 2 weeks just to talk about it all at once. So I think that just kind of makes sense to do it that way. Then Monday, May 6th, 2024, we'll be doing a WWE Aftershock cover and Backlash, but we'll cover other things on the show. We still haven't covered the Bray Wyatt documentary. I want to make sure we cover that. And we're also going to cover Next Gen because the episode of that's come out. I know they'll be like a month late, but that's just the best time we could get to them. We did predict that this was going to happen, that we, because Chris and I had a lot of things going on when all that stuff came out because it was like right around WrestleMania time, so we couldn't fit the time in to cover all of that stuff. So we'll cover Backlash, and then we'll cover the Bray Wyatt documentary, and we'll cover WWE Next Gen. So we'll make sure to cover all of that stuff. And then on May 13th, 2024, we'll cover all the shows that's happened that doesn't have anything to do with like, you know, Backlash or anything like that. It will be like a normal episode pretty much. So things will kind of go back to normal then. It's kind of nice because, you know, we'll get to experiment with WWE Aftershock for a few weeks. It won't be like the same show where we just review all the shows and everything like that. We'll kind of get to do some different stuff with it, so it will make it the show more fun for us to do because it won't be structured the same way all the time and everything like that. So I'm kind of looking forward to how WWE Aftershock is going to be structured for the next few weeks. Anything more you want to say when it comes down to WWE Aftershock?
No, I mean, you pretty much covered it.
And then this next one, we'll just kind of both go back and forth of what's going to happen here because some of this stuff is my brainchild, some of the stuff are your brainchild. We're going to continue with the tier lists. We started doing tier lists this year, and we ended up really enjoying them. We did the first one for every Royal Rumble winner, and it just kind of took off since then. We did one for every Elimination Chamber match. We didn't do one for WrestleMania because, again, we had a lot going on at that time, and by the time we would have been able to sit down and do one, we just couldn't fit the recording time in to do it for, so we just didn't have the time to do a tier list for it. We had one in mind that we were going to do, but then it just was going to be too complicated to get it done, so we didn't end up doing it. But yeah, you know, do you want to talk about a little bit tier lists, like why they ended up like, you know, we ended up kind of continuing with them because obviously we were just going to do the Royal Rumble one and then like see how that one did and decide whether or not we're going to continue with them. So is there any reason like you've kind of gotten on board and decided to continue with the tier lists?
They're just fun. They're kind of fun to do, like to go back and just kind of look at the older stuff and just sort of rank them how we feel, type of deal. Like, hey, like and sometimes we bend on a few things, but it was just a fun thing to do. It was definitely something different, and I kind of like that for this channel. For our channel, is to do something different because we've always just done the same thing, like Raw, SmackDown, NXT, whether it was main event or whatever, and 205 Live or Level Up. It's always been like the same thing, where it's like, okay, so we're just gonna review the show, give a grade like for a pay-per-view, for like a PLE or a live special or whatever, give our thoughts on it and then grade it. Or, like, oh, what are your thoughts on this? This was something that was completely different that we, it's not something that we invented. Obviously, tier lists have been around for quite a few years now, but it was something that we felt like we could incorporate into our show, and we ended up really liking it. So we just kept on continuing on with it.
Yeah, so we have a couple. We have a lot that we're gonna do this year. But we might add some as like the year goes on. But these are like the ones that we planned on. Since the draft's coming up pretty soon, we want to do something special for the brands. So I was kind of thinking what thing draft related we could do, because that's the thing. The tier lists are gonna take over the retros now. We'll theme them around whatever is going on in wrestling at the time. And I think this is better than like theming the retros around them, because like then we do too many retros.
It's way easier too.
Yeah. Because with retros you have to watch the whole show, but with tier lists you don't have to watch every show. It doesn't take very long to just do research on it, depending on what we're talking about and all that type of stuff. So, but yeah, so over the next week, we decided, we haven't really done like a tier list before, talking about everybody on the roster. And Chris and I talk about all the people that we like typically every week on WWE Aftershock and everything like that. But we never really sat down and like looked at the roster of the specific brands and decide like, hey, how do we feel about these people? So we decided before the tier list. Oh no, not before the tier list. I mean, obviously we will before the tier list, but before the draft, we're gonna sit down and look at each roster and decide who is the best of the best and who's the worst of the worst. So and we're gonna sit down and we're not gonna film them all in one day because Chris and I will burn ourselves out and it will get to the point where Chris would just
Oh
get
yeah.
grouchy and no one likes Chris when he's grouchy except like his dog. I think that's the only person. That's the only like living thing that likes Chris when he's grouchy. It's just his dog. That's it. Um, so um, yeah, so we're gonna have some nice tier list. This Saturday, April 20th, 2024, we're gonna do the NXT roster. The reason we're gonna do this is a little bit of spoilers here. We feel like the NXT roster is gonna be the one that we're gonna be the most negative about. So we figured why not just knock the NXT roster out of the way, so that way we can just get right into that. Plus two, because NXT is gonna change first, I think, because even though the draft is until Friday, there's NXT Spring Breaking, I imagine, is going to be like the last really big show where like all of the NXT roster are on NXT, like as that way, because obviously the next episode of NXT, the draft will be, in effect and everything like that. So I think it kind of makes sense to kind of do NXT first. Um, and we're doing it Saturday because that's just the best day we can do it. So that's why you're not getting like a actual WWE aftershock like this week because we need to replace it with one of the tier lists. So we're gonna do that. Wednesday, April 24th, 2024, we're gonna do the SmackDown roster. I think this will be an interesting one. So yeah, that would be good. And then Thursday, April 25th, 2024, we're gonna do the Raw roster. So we're gonna go through and rank, and we're not just gonna rank the wrestlers. We're also gonna rank other people, maybe commentators. We do have to break some rules here because obviously I'm gonna go by Wikipedia's rule, but some of them you have to kind of say BS for. Like it says that The Rock's only on SmackDown, but that's really not true, obviously, because he can show up anywhere he wants. Really, he can even show up on Level Up if he
He's a
wants.
free agent.
Yeah, so if there's free agents, they'll be on all of the rosters. Like so maybe not all of them, but like I don't think The Rock will probably put in the NXT tier list because I don't think he's ever showing up on NXT. So
He could.
he could. Now he said that. Now he might have to. So but that's all the tier list we're gonna be doing roster wise. Anything more you want to talk about when it comes to that?
No, I think you covered it.
And then you came up with this idea of like a tier list to do after the draft's taking place. You want to talk about that a little bit?
After the drafts.
Yeah.
So we're going to be doing a lot more, but Backlash main events in the go home to Backlash, which is going to be very interesting to do. I'm really looking forward to that. Another one that we're thinking about doing because it's a 10-year anniversary is NXT Takeover, doing all the tier listing all the NXT Takeovers.
Yeah.
Because it's the 10-year anniversary, and everyone thought it'd be a great idea, and I forgot that it was 10 years since that we were that NXT Takeovers have been around. It's been 10 years. That's insane. Since the brand really took off.
Yeah, I figured we'll do that. And this is like excluded NXT Arrival because that's not in the takeover like system. This is included obviously like the NXTs that's happened like since NXT rebranded to NXT 2.0 because they don't call them takeovers anymore. And this is included NXT UK branded takeovers because we're just gonna include the NXT like USA based like takeovers and everything like that. So yeah, that'll be fun. It'll be fun too because I haven't watched a lot of these takeovers in a while, and this will be fun too because obviously Triple H, Paul Levesque now basically is the one in charge nowadays. So you'll get to see like a lot of his touches that he's doing now, like even back then and everything like that. So this will be a lot of fun to do, I think. And the Backlash, going back to that, we want to do something Backlash related. There's a lot of great Backlash main events out there too, so it'll be kind of fun to tier list those. So we'll be definitely doing those. And another tier list. I wanted to do this at some point. Since we've taken a break from retros, I want to kind of bring those back at some point. So before we bring those back, it might not be June. It'll be at some point, but at some point in June, we're gonna do a tier list of every retro wrestling review series that we've ever done on this channel. Not the videos themselves where we review them, but every show that we've done in the retro wrestling review series umbrella. Even though it started in 2015, we're gonna do like the point where we really started like make it anything. So we'll go back in 2017. The first one will be WrestleMania 22, and we're gonna do the most recent one, which I think is like, um, I think it's actually the CM Punk.
Halloween.
Yeah, I think it's the
No,
SmackDown.
yeah, CM Punk. Yeah.
CM Punk's last SmackDown before he walked out. So, yeah, we think that would be a lot of fun to do, considering the fact that, we've done so many retros throughout the year, so it would be kind of fun to go back through them and see all the ones that we've done. And, you know, this is kind of a way to update the retros, too, without, like, doing a video again. Like, to kind of see, like, if our perspectives on wrestling have changed and everything like that. And, this will be fun for you, Chris, because obviously you couldn't be on every retro, so this is kind of a makeup for you to, like, go and like give your thoughts on retros that you couldn't be on and all that type of stuff. So
Exactly, yeah.
um
Because I've been on probably 80% of them,
yeah,
maybe more.
yeah,
But like I've been on like since we started the retros, I've been on nearly every one of them.
yeah,
So it'd be interesting to see like the ones that I missed, or the ones like that you did with John or with Steve or with whoever, where it wasn't necessary, where it wasn't like we had to be there for it because we didn't pick it. So those are going to be the interesting ones.
yeah. um and then go over the next one, because the next one's like your brainchild and everything like that. You came up with this like fairly recently and everything like that.
So with this man recently becoming the undisputed WWE champion, Cody Rhodes, we decided that we wanted to do a tier list for him. Um, every Cody Rhodes match. Now, I think it should be significant matches in his career that we should tier list
Yeah,
instead of doing every single one of them. Like the more significant ones in his career. We already have a bunch laid out, and yeah, that was something that like I with it made me think like damn, like we haven't really done anything about like him, like he's not really any of the retros that we do. Um, he's only been in like maybe a handful, maybe because it's we didn't really talk about him that much on retro, so it'd be kind of interesting to go back through his career and tier list his most significant matches. It's something that something that I kind of thought about. No one was like, yeah, it's a pretty good idea to do that. So we decided to do it. And I think it's going to be a very good tier list. And I think people are going to enjoy it.
yeah. I mean, it sucks. We can't do it when we want to, like obviously like right now, because now it probably, I know it'd make more sense to do it right now with because obviously he just recently finished the story and everything like that, but this was kind of like a late
Yeah.
edition, like and June's the best time to do it, because we haven't, right now we're just working on putting the list together. We haven't actually I haven't actually watched, like, I mean obviously I've watched the match, like some of these matches, but I haven't gone back and like actually
Yeah.
started going through the list and like watching these matches and all that stuff.
Because a lot of these are kind of hard to find. Like a lot of his original OVW stuff is
Yeah,
going to be kind of tough to find.
yeah,
Whereas
and
like his match versus Randy when he debuted is on the WWE's YouTube page. So
yeah, yeah. Um, so I'm working on just making a playlist, um, which I'll share with you. That's on my YouTube channel, that I've like made so far. Yeah. And again, we're doing every significant match, because if we did every Cody match, the video would be hours long. And obviously,
I don't think we want to do that. Not even
yeah,
I want to do that.
I know you love Cody, but yeah, because when you first messaged me, I was like, every Cody match, I was like, I remember my response was, you know how long that would take, like that, because he's had so many
It
matches.
would take us weeks. The video would take us literally, first of all, months to watch every match,
Yeah,
and then on top of it, the video would be like 7 hours long.
yeah. We're still putting the list together. I'll probably have like a cutoff point, be like sometime in May, and then we'll start watching them like in May and everything like that.
Yeah, yeah.
You
Whenever
know,
you get the playlist ready for matches and shit, just send it over to me,
and I
and
yeah,
I'll watch it.
and I think Jim were doing it because some of these matches you have to buy the pay-per-views for, because you can't find like certain matches, like the NWA World's title match that he has with Nick Aldis. at the 75th anniversary. You have to buy that. You can't even just find that match. You have to buy that pay-per-view for it. So yeah, you
Yeah,
know,
and a lot of his in his New Japan stuff too.
you have
That's
to get
not.
new.
That's kind of like
Yeah,
hard to find
you have to get New Japan World for that.
unless if
So
you pay for New Japan World
which I will be doing. Um,
and Honor Club too. I think also.
yeah, I'll have to get that again too. Um, and then um, in June also we're going to do every Money in the Bank winner because Money in the Bank's coming up in July. Um, so we figured, we haven't done like really a tier list focusing on Money in the Bank, and I could do ladder matches, but I feel like we're gonna be really busy, especially with that Cody tier list. And I think like it would be easier to do every Money in the Bank winner because we basically know all the winners. It's just a matter of just doing research of what they did with the briefcase slash contract while they had it and everything like that. Um, and this will include everything. It's not just going to include people who won like the ladder match to win the briefcase. If they've like won a match where the briefcase was defended, they'll kind of go into the tier list also because there's some people that won the briefcase, but they didn't win the ladder match to win the briefcase. They just won it from somebody. Um, and we'll like tier list. How that one will kind of work is we'll tier list like what they did with the briefcase and like how their cash in went and like if the briefcase like benefited them and all that type of stuff. So that would be a fun one to do, I think. Um, and also in July, this will probably be the end of July. We're gonna do every SummerSlam main event because SummerSlam's August 3rd, so we'll probably do every SummerSlam main event that's ever happened. So that would be a fun one to do. We won't do openers because we won't have time for it, but we'll do every SummerSlam main event. And also in July, we're going to do every, because July 30th is the year anniversary where Triple H booked his first like major WWE main roster pay per view, where he like full on took over and everything like that. Because I know technically Vince retired, like in July, but Triple H's influence, like he didn't fully stop booking anything until like that time. But we're going to we originally were going to do every Triple H PLE that it's ever happened, but because we're going to be so busy with other things in July, it's just not going to happen. So we're going to do something special where we cover every sign-in or return that's happened since he started booking. I think this will be fun. You know, there's been a lot of returns that's happened, so we'll kind of rank them. This will be returns that's happened like due to injuries, being out of the company, or you know, like I'll just give you an example. I think I'll put Imperium on the list because even though they were all in the company, if you think about it, they Triple H had to bring that faction like back because like Vince broke it up and everything like that. Like they'll go on the list, and all that type of stuff. So, yeah, that would be fun to do. And then October. Do you want to talk about the October tier list?
So, Hell in a Cell. We're gonna tier list Hell in a Cell matches, and it's going to be very interesting because some are going to get very high, are going to be very high on the list, and others are not. And I think we both know, and our audience knows that the one that we can all agree on, and it's very unfortunate because it looked like it was going to be awesome, was The Fiend versus Seth Rollins. I think we know where that's going, so I'm not going to say it now. I kind of feel bad for putting it in the bottomest of bottom tiers, but the match was not good at all.
By the way,
Randy Orton,
Mark Henry, top tier. What a great cell match that was. Top tier, baby. Top tier. The Raw Hell in a Cell dark match, top tier, baby. Top tier.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
Save me now.
The first Hell in a Cell match, fucking bottom tier. Fucking awful piece of shit. Like, that's just the worst match I've ever seen.
Terrible. It's very unfortunate, too, because I really hate to put it in that tier, but it's going to go there.
Just because, why not, right? But anyhow, yeah, those are all the tier lists that we're going to be doing. I'm really looking forward to doing these tier lists. Obviously, if we think of others, we'll obviously like add them to the list. Like we might do one for September. We might do one for November. Will probably be something Survivor Series related since Survivor Series is in November. December. Um,
Or we could do like every WWE style War Games match.
if they do War Games this year, though, they may not do it.
I think they will,
Imagine they,
just for one specific reason, honestly.
yeah. Um, but yeah. So if we ever think of any more tier lists, we might tier list like every single Chris Dodd like signing that he made in GM mode. We could tier list that. You know, a lot of them's gonna be the Red Flame, I think. So,
All of them are going to be the Red Flame.
pretty soon I think your watch is just gonna be the Red Flame, nothing else. No other wrestlers will be there.
Just the Red Flame, baby. That's all that matters. It's
Yeah.
the Red Flame.
Um. But yeah, let's continue. You want to talk about the next one, the next category we're gonna be doing?
Okay, so it's the long awaited and long talked about, and we've talked about it already a little bit, is the return in August. It's going to be monthly, so we don't burn ourselves out by doing it by pay-per-view or PLE or whatever, is the Retro Wrestling Review series. And this is something that we've talked about bringing back for a while. It's been kind of absent from our channel. It's been a big part of our channel since for 7 or 8 years, however long it's been. It's been a big part of our channel. And we like going back and reviewing old shows, whether they were excellent or whether they were the fucking complete doggiest of dog shit shows. Like Halloween Havoc, where the Yeti comes out and literally dry humps Hulk until they go fade to black. I'd rather not watch that ever again. But yes, you got to do it. You got to take the good with the bad. But and you know, we're bringing it back, and it's going to be fun to start going back and watching those older shows, and reviewing them again, and sometimes watching them for the first time. In some cases, like a lot of with like the WCW stuff, a lot of that we're watching for the very first time.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Or ECW or NWA, whatever the hell it is that's on the network. A lot of that stuff we'll be watching for the very first time. So it's going to be kind of give us a new, fresh, like different perspective on wrestling. We could go back and watch World Class Championship Wrestling if we wanted to.
Yeah.
And review some, and for a retro. But yeah, it's definitely exciting. We have a lot of exciting things coming up, and yeah, and we're both equally as excited to kind of get back on the saddle again and get back to doing this stuff again.
Yeah. We haven't really planned on taking a break from it. It just kind of happened. I think the tier list, we ended up liking that, so like we said, okay, let's focus on the tier list. We burned ourselves out because we did so many retros last year, in 2023.
Way too many.
Yeah, so we wanted to take a break from it. We're doing it monthly now because it would be easier for us. And this time we're not theming them anymore. It's just going to be whatever show we want to do. It'll happen. This will be good too because this will benefit like John, Steve, and other people that that haven't been able to come on and really pick a retro because like they have lives and they're just busy and everything like that. So this will be a fun one to do. Maybe we'll see if we can do like a fan recommended one, like, hey, is there an old show you want us to watch, and what you guys will be able to pick one and everything like that. So that could be fun. Yeah. I'm looking forward to putting back the retro though. I think August is just going to be the time we put it back because we're doing the tier list in June, and I don't want to do another retro until we do the tier list. And then we're going to be busy in July. We're going to be busy in June doing those tier lists. So there's just a lot of factors of why it's coming back in August. August will be, after we've done our vacations and after SummerSlam and everything like that. So that's why we're kind of waiting until then. So yeah. Then we have the next thing, Brand Supremacy. This is the new series we just recently started on the show. It's basically we play through GM mode. It's Chris and I, John, and my cousin AJ playing through it right now. We've recorded 2 episodes. One's up right now. We released the episode where we drafted all our wrestlers, and then the next episode is gonna be booking our first show. Uh, when this video is going up first, I'll just say this: you're gonna be very disappointed with Chris's performance on GM mode. You're gonna be shaming him. So, but this is fun because every time I go over Chris's house now, I must say Chris's hell, not your house. I called it your hell.
It's my hell, baby. Let's go.
But every time I go over Chris's house, we played this mode, and I think the reason I wanted to bring this on is because we didn't really play it much last year, because I didn't really go over Chris's house much last year, and anytime I was there was always a PLE, so we just never had the time to do GM mode. So I figured, why not just put it on? I have the system, I have ways to record it now and everything like that. And it's been fun so far. I think this is something that Chris has enjoyed doing. It distracts him from AEW every week, which has been great because, he's loved that. I mean, he's not going to like it next week, though, because, it's going to distract him from NXT Spring Break-In next week. So, he's not going to like that. But it's just going to...
Except for when I'm doing my show.
Yeah.
When I'm booking my show, it's going to be a little bit distracting, but when AJ and John are doing their show or you're doing your show, I'm going to be watching NXT, and I'm going to be shutting up. So
yeah,
that's a rule we have. We have to shut up when someone is booking their show.
But yeah, it's been enjoyable so far. Anything else you want to say about Brand Supremacy? Because it's very new to the show series. So
it's a very new series that we're doing, and it's a lot of fun. We're doing it like once every week, and it's been a lot of fun to do. Just booking our own shows, and it's fun to do with 4 people because there isn't a computer who's trying to fucking screw you around the corner.
Yeah.
Like it was like an R GM mode.
This will be
Paul
fun.
Heyman kept putting fucking power cards on me every fucking week.
And this will be this would be fun too because we put like some conditions to make it like like a little bit more fair. Like we didn't necessarily say no power cards, but we said like like for example, if someone gets like the Veto Star, if I played on Chris, like John can't play it also on Chris because then you're just getting fucked at that point. Like
at that point it's just not fair to that person.
Yeah, and it just it makes it a miserable time because like I did it before with Mike Zio and his crew, and I was just getting fucked over the whole time. So like and I just went. I basically had to take the bullet of doing the power cards because it didn't really hurt Zio to have a power card played on him because like he didn't take it too seriously anyways. So it was kind of like someone had to take the bullet. So but I think this has been fun so far. It's been good. That's been every week. The only thing that sucks about it is we have to do 2 recordings every week because of the way the game saves and everything like that. And obviously Twitch, what comes with the Wi-Fi, is a little delayed. So like you're gonna get a little bit of dead air on occasion. So we're still new to it. So we're gonna try to find a way to like fill the dead air because my cousin AJ's definitely delayed more than 20 seconds. He was delayed for like a while.
Oh, way more. Yeah.
So because he's in a different state than we are and everything. So. But yeah, continuing. We want to find something to do though. Like in between the time. Because we're gonna do the first season and then we're gonna try to find something else. My cousin and I have been talking about this anyway, so I figured this would be fun to do. We're gonna start reviewing some documentaries. WWE does a lot of great documentaries. We never really talk about documentaries. So we want to start to do them, and we're gonna review the A&E specials and also Dark Side of the Wind. We're gonna do those reviews. I think those will be good. My cousin wanted to watch Dark Side of the Wind because he wanted to know about the wrestling thing, but it's like he's never watched wrestling before. I don't want like his first introduction to be Dark Side of the Wind because those are like the bad stories of wrestling. And
most of them are, but some of them are really informational.
But I think the A&E ones will be better for him because like it's a mix of a balance because like it'll show the bad times, but they're also very positive like towards the end and everything like that. So we'll probably do those. because you could still watch the A&E ones for free and everything like that. So those will be fun to do. Those will be like something we do like to kind of replace. We probably won't do that every week because I feel like we'll burn ourselves out very quickly. If we do like an A&E special every week, that will probably be like every other week. So, um, I think GM mode. I don't think we'll burn ourselves out doing that every week because it's not the same thing every week. So, um, and then the last thing. I mean, this is my announcement, but you don't really get to talk about this much, so I'll let you kind of like announce. Very. You're happy, but this is a very sad thing for the channel. Why don't you talk about it a little bit?
So, a little thing called AEW Spark, where I was doing it for a little bit, and then Noah Foster was doing it, and Zero was doing it. But as of now, because I don't really care for the show. I watch it, but it's more so out of not really interest, but like just as a casual, like a watcher every week. Like I like to watch it just to see what's going on, and Owen's really falling out of love with AEW also too. So as of this moment, AEW Spark is fucking dead. It's in the grave. It's fucking dead. Yeah. We're not doing it anymore. No interest in doing it. I kind of did it for a while there. We were reviewing both Darks and Dynamite. And it was kind of fun to do it in the beginning. And then AEW started to go downhill. And then when it went downhill, it became less fun to do it. And it became more of like, oh, God damn it, I got to do this now. We kept putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. And, it's dead because we don't want to do it. And Owen wants to, if Spark is going to continue, he wants to give it to someone who actually cares about the product and doesn't sound jaded as they're talking about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so AEW Spark is very much dead.
I'll say this, like, I know Noah would do it justice, but I don't want Noah does a lot. As you know, he watches all the wrestling.
Way too.
He does a lot
honestly.
of shows. Yeah. And, he doesn't just do that. He's got like a 9-to-5 job every day. Like, he nearly ran himself into the ground when during that period of time when we stopped doing it, and then I started, and he took it over. Him and Zero took it over. That's why I had to like come back and everything like that. I had fun doing it again when I came back to it because I had a new co-host. There was no dogs anymore, but now it's just AEW. It's just like the product is just like really fucking bad now. Like, it would get to the point where I'll go a few weeks without watching it, and then I'll try to catch myself up on it, and I'll only watch like one episode, and then I'm like, yeah, that wasn't good. I don't feel the need to go back and watch the next episode. I watched Big Business because I was there for it, but it's like Big Business really didn't wow me that much, and I feel like if a wrestling show's not wowing me and I'm fucking there, then there's a fucking problem. Not that I didn't have a bad time there, but it just didn't really it didn't hook me to come back the next week type of thing. Like I was at Big Business and I'm just like, if I wasn't here, this would just be like a regular episode of like Dynamite.
Exactly, it would be.
And it really sucks. I actually was gonna come back and do Spoke, like monthly, and I'll say this too, there's some stuff, that happened with Zero off camera that so we kind of weren't really doing videos together really anymore. It wasn't on camera, it was behind the scenes, but we weren't really doing much behind the scenes. I couldn't find another co-host, and then I'm just kind of thinking to myself, why am I going to put in another co-host if I don't even enjoy doing this myself? Because then I have to commit the time if my co-host is committing the time, type of thing. So it's kind of one of those things, and I'd like to give it to Zero, but it's one of those things where he can't find a co-host either, and it doesn't he doesn't watch all of the AEW shows where he can really give you his take on it. He watches the Dynamite show. Sometimes he doesn't watch the whole thing, and then he never watched Rampage, and he watched Collision, and then he was like missing weeks of Collision. So it's kind of tough for him to cover the shows all the time. So if I could find someone that would do it justice, again, I think I was gonna come back. I was gonna start watching the shows again, but then the announcement of them airing the All In footage just really makes me not want to watch the show. I will consider watching Double or Nothing. I'll watch all the shows leading up to it, and I'll watch Double or Nothing itself. Maybe I'll review that. I'll tell you this: I'm not gonna buy Double or Nothing though. I'll probably wait and find other ways to watch it that free to me. If someone buys it for me, or there's other ways that I don't want to get into of how else I would watch it. But I just don't have the interest to talk about AEW. And again, it's also a lot to do both shows weekly when it comes to WWE Aftershock and AEW Spoke. And even though it is a lot, because I'm not just doing this, I'm also doing stuff on my non-wrestling channel. Like my cousin and I just started. We've been really slacking when it comes to videos there recently, and we want to make sure like that gets enough attention. And if I'm doing Spoke every week, it takes away from that. But it's just also it's just a matter of time of just not really enjoying it, because I guarantee you, if AEW was firing on all cylinders like WWE is, if both companies were doing well, I would be more than gladly to sit down and talk about it every week. It's just not, AEW is not really doing that. And I know a lot of people say, well, if WWE was falling off, you'd still find time for WWE Aftershock every week. I mean, don't forget, Chris, there was points I didn't cover any WWE shows, but WWE was bad. So it's not, if WWE was bad right now, I probably wouldn't be watching that right now. I mean, out of the two, obviously WWE was probably going to be the one I'll cover every week, just because that's accessible and that gets some content on this channel and everything like that. So if obviously WWE Aftershock is more willing to happen than an AEW Spoke. But just because the channel can't just go dead for a while either. But
yeah,
WWE's firing on all cylinders right now. And it's also cheaper to watch WWE for me right now than AEW, because I get Peacock, I use your Peacock, so it's nice and easy. Even if I wasn't using your Peacock, and I almost just said cock and then forgot to put the peacock in there, so it almost got really
using
bad.
the cock, baby.
And notice I would have said using your cock, so that's would have gotten really weird.
Yes. No, thank you.
But anyhow, no,
I'm
but
passing.
yeah, but yeah, so it's looking. I will potentially do an AEW Spark for Double or Nothing. I will give you guys a warning. Steve Coakley, if he would say maybe to something, it typically wouldn't happen. My what did I text you? It wasn't potentially, but my possibly is like Steve Coakley's maybe. If I say possibly, it's most likely not gonna happen. So,
yeah,
I don't think it's possibly. It's most likely. If I say most likely, it's not gonna happen. So, but we'll see. I wanted to end off with that, just so that way, because I figured we talk about this for a while. But we do have some plans for you. I know, a lot of this is just WWE stuff. It's just, I have a busy schedule, so it's like WWE is the only thing I really have time for. And, it's not just this channel, but, I want to spend time on my non-wrestling channel and everything like that, too. And, I finally found, a good balance to do both things. And, I can't, and it just gets to the point where you want, even though we both love wrestling, you want to do other things than just watch wrestling. If I just do wrestling all the time, then my non-wrestling channel takes a hit. So, just kind of how it is. But yeah, anything else you want to say? Are you looking forward to doing all this stuff this year?
Fuck yeah, I am looking forward to it all. Yeah, I really am looking forward to it, and can't wait to get started on it.
I will say one more thing about brand supremacy, and then we'll end this video off. When it comes down to brand supremacy, one thing differently we're doing with that is it will be every week, no matter what. something fun we're gonna do if somebody's unavailable, except me, because I have to be on every week because it's my system, unless somebody steals my system or something like that. So I think Chris is stealing my system next week. So
Fuck yeah.
I'm just gonna go out. My system's not gonna be there, and you're just gonna. I feel like you're gonna take like a picture of it. So yeah, you're missing something, buddy. Missing
Yeah,
something.
hell yeah.
I mean, you can't get into it though, so I don't know how you do, but
I don't know. I wouldn't know what the fuck I would be doing anyway.
yeah. But anyhow, I get this picture though. I don't know how you get to my house. You just drive into my house and being like, I'm just gonna take this. Just go into my room and just decide to hook up all that stuff. You're just, I don't know what you've been doing. Chris just decides, oh, I'm just gonna go steal. I don't know what, but he just decides one day, like, you know, I'm bored. I'm gonna go take Owen's system. Just take a nice drive and just take his system. Like,
and then delete brand supremacy.
But no,
just to fuck with you.
yeah. But anyhow, so when it comes down to that, though, if somebody can't be on, though, there'll be a suitable replacement that will be taking that person's place. So, for example, in a couple of weeks, Chris is going to be on, so Steve Coakley's going to come on and book his brand for him that week. I feel like you're kind of scared about what's going to happen when it comes to that. Like, Steve Coakley booking your brand for you for a week. You're going to be, like, fucking nervous that your fucking show is going to go down the fucking...
Terrified.
Yeah. You'll come back and the red flame's not going to be there. Like...
I'll come back and my whole roster's gone.
This is
weird. I have incurred lots of debt.
Steve did like a trade where like I offered $1 and he gives your whole fucking budget away. Like
oof.
Don't like that. Steve
terrified.
Steve trades your whole roster away for like $1.
Oh. Oof.
But anyhow, that's pretty much it. Anything you want to plug up more before we get out of here?
Just be on the lookout. You know, we just talked about when we're going to do a lot of things. That's going to be interesting. So keep your eyes peeled. Make sure you have the notification bell on. To all. When you click the notification bell, there's 3 options. There's off, I think sometimes, and then all. Make sure it's on all because you will get all of our notifications and whatnot.
Yep. I just thought about one more funny thing, and then I imagine too, like when you're coming to steal my system, I happen to drive by, and you do like a nice beep and just show the system out the window, be like, yeah, I have this now. You just do like a nice wave.
Fuck you.
And you end up dropping it out the window by accident too, and just like, oh, I guess I don't have it anymore either. Like,
yeah, none of us do.
Yep. And you decide to just, well, if no one has it now, it's out the window broken. You just decide you're gonna run it over. You just turn around just to run it over.
Gotta make sure that there's no remnants left.
But anyhow, no, that's pretty much it, guys. I did my plugs already because that's what this channel updates video for. Again, to check out the non-wrestling stuff. AJ and I started doing Yellow Jackets recently. Get the views on that up because it's been very weird. For some reason, yesterday it was up at like 7 views, and then today it was down like 3 views. So I don't know how the fuck that happened, but whatever.
I guess people can't count.
Yeah. Or like, did they? I don't know how you take it.
They can't count.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. We'll talk to you guys later. Goodbye. Say goodbye.
Bye.